With U.S. troops gone and evacuation flights ended, some people still left in Afghanistan are considering finding ways out of the country by land. The United Nations says nearly 500,000 people could flee Afghanistan by the end of the year. Following the complete withdrawal on Tuesday, about 200 Americans and tens of thousands of at-risk Afghans are still in the country. President Biden is firmly defending his decision to withdraw, marking the end of America's longest war. He also addressed criticism that his administration could have avoided the mass evacuation if they started getting people out sooner.
I respectfully disagree. Imagine if we'd begun evacuations in June or July, bringing in thousands of American troops and evacuating more than 120,000 people in the middle of a civil war. There still would have been a rush to the airport.
The president defiantly defending his decision. And the president and his aides promise the U.S. can keep terror threats from Afghanistan at bay from afar. How? By employing what's called over-the-horizon surveillance and strikes. But counterterrorism and intelligence officials suggest it will be much more difficult and less effective than the White House suggests. Joining me on the morning show via Zoom from Frankfurt, Germany, retired Army Lieutenant General Ben Hodges. Good morning.
Hey, Bruce. Good morning.
So you spent time in Afghanistan. You know the reality. You know the Taliban. And you know there are doubts it will honor its word. You have a volatile ISIS-K and other unstable factions. No U.S. boots on the ground. Can the U.S. be effective in keeping terrorism at bay from afar?
Well, for sure, it's going to be a little bit more difficult without having the access there that we thought we were going to have if the government of Afghanistan had remained in power. But we are where we are. And of course, it's not just kinetic tools, killing terrorists that is the only way to do this. I think the financial tools that the United States and our allies have are also important. So when we talk about over the horizon, it also means drying up the financial resources that the terrorists need. This is a tool I think that's been underutilized. For sure, we're going to need help and access from other allies. And frankly, I do believe that in the coming years, we will be able to work with whatever sort of government does stand up in Afghanistan.
Let me pick up on that. Secretary of State Blinken said once the Afghans do establish a government, there is a hope to establish some sort of a diplomatic relationship. You work for a think tank. Is that a pipe dream?
So, of course, this is going to be hard, and it seems almost unimaginable right now. But if you think about it, we went to work with a new German government at the end of World War II, and the same with Japan. Right now, Vietnam is one of our most important partners in the Indo-Pacific region. Our vice president was just there. So it's a fact that we're going to have to deal with whoever is in power in Afghanistan at some point very soon. I have no illusions about who the Taliban are, but this is who we're going to have to work with. I mean, we work with the Chinese Communist Party right now and the Kremlin. So being strategically thinking, we're going to have to work with whoever's in power.
Let me ask you what you thought about the president's speech. I can't help but believe that there was a hidden message there, that there's a long overdue conversation that has to be had. And that long overdue conversation has to be that the U.S. has to get over its thoughts that we have to make over the world.
So, Bruce, you raise a terrific point, and I agree with you with what your assessment of what the president said yesterday. And, I'm from North Florida myself, Tallahassee, and I know that North Florida, your viewership is full of veterans and active service members and their families right now. Nobody in the military wants U.S. military to be the lead in carrying out U.S. foreign policy. It should always be our diplomats and our civilian leadership laying out the strategic objectives, and then our military with the talented young women and men who make up our armed forces, enabling and backing up diplomacy. I think this is the right approach.
And as for the U.S. citizens who've been left behind, do you think they'll be able to get them home?
I am sure that we are going to continue doing everything we can in these new circumstances to help get people out who still want to get out. I think there are an awful lot of brave women and men who belong to non-government organizations, for example, who were reluctant to leave because they had invested so much of their own time and effort and energy into helping Afghan civil society. So this is not perfect, and I think there are people there who want to get out desperately, I imagine that the United States, through diplomatic channels, but also working with other countries in the region, Qatar, Turkey, for example, perhaps even Pakistan, who has turned out not to be a reliable ally for us, might help in this regard.
General, thanks for your perspective. Thanks for your time. Stay safe.
Bruce,
Appreciate it.
thank you for the privilege.
No.